And here we go again, another season for my Texas Longhorns to get their crap together. Who actually knows what they're going to do? But before I get started on them, hook up. Shout out to Texas, okay? There's a lot of interesting things this year, Texas. Let me be real here. I am not going to spend this video talking about Arch Manning. You want to know why? Because he has earned for me not to talk about him. So I'm going to leave him where he's at. I'm also not going to spend this video talking about our wide receiver group. I'm not going to mention Ryan Wingo and Cam Coleman. They are going to do what they're going to do. I need them to focus on catching the ball, blocking, all those different things. I have no smoke for them. I am so good on them. I just need them to do their jobs, and I need them to do their jobs well. What I am going to talk about, though, is Coach Sark and this offensive line and these running backs, because that is the weakness of this Texas football team. And to have an offensive coach be your head coach, and to have an offense that looks like this offense has been looking for the past 2 years, that is unacceptable. And that is why my battle cry has been for a while now that Coach Sark needs to hire an offensive coordinator. I will not back off that Coach Sark needs to hire an offensive coordinator until Coach Sark proves to me that he can handle this and that he can take care of the things that need to be taken care of. However, the way this offensive line has looked in really the last 2 seasons is actually despicable. The way this running back group has been declining since really Bijan Robinson left, that's also not good enough. I need them to figure it out, and I need them to figure it out now. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable for the University of Texas to have an offense like it has been looking. It is unacceptable to have Arch Manning at quarterback and for this offense to look like it looks. This offensive line needs to be better. These running backs needs to be better. I am no longer placing the blame on these running backs until I see this coaching staff has the ability to coach them up. I don't care that this offensive line looks good against competition they're supposed to be better than. That's expected, right? I don't care that this offensive line looks good when they play against Oklahoma and Texas A&M. I expect that. We recruit better than those schools, in my opinion, so I expect that. What is unacceptable is whenever we come up against competition and our offensive line and our run game cannot get going. That is unacceptable. That needs to be fixed. The level of caliber of athletes that the University of Texas is supposed to be getting is supposed to be good, and I need Coach Sark to prove that to me. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, double check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment in the comment section below, turn on those notification bells, and if you want to, I do have a membership available that you can join and get all the behind the scenes content that you didn't know that you needed. I am no longer giving him a pass. His pass has expired. This is the year I expect Coach Sark to figure it out. Am I yelling and screaming and frustrated and saying that Texas needs to win the national championship game in order for me to shut up? I'm not necessarily saying that, but it does have to be better than it was last year, and he does have to be in the playoffs. Full stop. Also, when we play Ohio State, we need to look like we deserve to be there, not just on defense, but on offense as well. I need our offense to figure out some things. I need us to be tougher. I need us to be tougher at the point of attack on the offensive line. I need our running backs to act like they want to run the football. I need them to run in between the tackles and outside of the tackles. I need to see something dynamic with this Texas football running back group, because it is unacceptable what they have been doing, and it is unacceptable what has been happening over the past 2 seasons. This offensive line needs to figure it out. Full stop. Full stop. Period. I have nothing else to say. They need to figure it out. They have 2 great tackles. I need us to work on this interior of the offensive line. We got some guys. They should be better. But heading into the spring, those are the things I'm thinking about. Do I want to talk about this defense? Do I want to even give this defense some of my time? Just because you have to win in all phases of the ball, I will say I need the defense to have some things figure out what they need to do. I need the defense to continue to get better. I need Will Muschamp to do his job. Okay, cool. Now that I said all of those things, shout out to the defense, shout out to Colin Simmons, shout out to everything they are going to do this year. My focus is this offense. That doesn't mean that I expect this defense to slack off by any stretch of the imagination. I just trust them. I do not trust this offense at all. The only person on offense right now that I trust are Arch Manning, receivers when they want to catch the ball, and that might be it. That's all I got for right now. So heading into spring, some things that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to see if I'm able to trust this offense a little bit, if I'm able to trust what these running backs are able to do. I don't care that you were highly rated. I don't care about any of those things. I need to see that production and I need to see it shine through. So until I feel comfortable and confident, I am not going to act like it's fixed, because right now I don't feel comfortable and I do not feel confident. And we all know by now, until I feel comfortable and confident, nothing else matters. I'm going to continue to talk about it until I'm like, okay, you all have it figured out. If you've been here for me since I started my channel, you will realize when I very first started my channel, it was the year that Texas's defense, it was the year after Texas's defense was like a little suspect. And so all offseason, I was like, this defense has to figure out their crap. This defense has to figure out their crap. I suddenly started switching and I was like, defense, you got it. You got it from here. You run it, you take it, you do your thing. That is where I'm at with this defense. This offense, though, unacceptable, unacceptable, unacceptable. For me and how I'm thinking about this might be Texas's most complete roster since Coach Sark has been here. Let me repeat that. This might be the most complete roster this Texas football program has experienced since Coach Sark has been here. I am saying that because the 2 years we went to the semifinals, our offense kind of started to do whatever. First year we went to the semifinals against Washington, defense suspect. We had problems in the secondary. It was a mess. Okay, got it. The next year with Quinn Ewers, when we go to the semifinals and play Ohio State, our offense had been struggling so bad. It was ridiculous and it was just not good. The offense just not good. Red zone offense was bad. Converting on third down was bad. It was just bad. Last year, you could say the defense got a little bit worse, but of course you're going to be a little bit worse when you're playing all of those snaps and the offense keeps going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Offense was so bad last year that they didn't help the defense. The offense was so bad last year that every video that I made, my top two things that I was talking about was offense 1 and offense 2. Like, that is unacceptable. This team, though, should be balanced on offense. They should be balanced on defense. That should be something that Coach Sark hasn't had since he has been here. Both sides of the football should be consistent. Both sides of the football should be complete. And I know that there's 3 phases of the game. I am waiting to see what I think about special teams right now, because I'm not 100% sure, because I'm so focused on this offense getting their crap together and I'm so tired of seeing the production or lack of production that they're putting out in the field. So I have all the smoke this year for this offense. I need this offense to figure it out. I need the defense to remain stable. And the last thing I'll say before I end this video, because all year it frustrated me, if Coach Sark does not get the discipline instilled in this team in the spring, I might lose my crap by week 6, okay? Because the lack of discipline from this team is another reason why Coach Sark having an offensive coordinator or just having a guy that can help him maintain the offense, tell him what he's seeing on this offense so that Coach Sark can instill some discipline on this offense and on this football team, that would be fantastic. I need discipline on the offense. I need discipline on special teams. I need discipline all the way around. Discipline is on Coach Sark. Discipline is a head coach thing. Discipline could be the difference between this team going to the college football playoffs. It also could be the difference between this team winning a national championship. You cannot win a national championship if you're going to continue to have penalties. Go look at every single football game and the team that usually loses when games are tight. It is usually the team with the most penalties that ends up losing football games. Lack of discipline will cost you games. I need Coach Sark to figure out his offense. I need Coach Sark to figure out his discipline. I need Coach Sark to figure himself out. It is time for him to figure himself out. Because if he doesn't figure himself out, this might be the year we might be looking back at this team and we might say, it all started to fall off here. And this is the moment. This is the moment. Or the flip side will happen. We will say this team is everything we thought this team should be, and this team is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. One thing I know for sure, if Coach Sark doesn't figure out this one, if Coach Sark doesn't figure out this team, if Coach Sark doesn't figure out a way to make this work, we have bigger issues at the University of Texas. This year, for me, is Coach Sark's year. This is the year where there's no excuses. There's no reasons. As of today, as of the making of this video, there's no excuses. There's no reasons. There's nothing. You need to go out and you need to get the job done. Your roster is too talented. Your returning production is too talented. The people that you brought in from the transfer portal are too talented. Your coaches are supposed to be too talented. The amount of people that are playing this season, this is their NFL year. This is the year where they get to decide if they're going to go to the NFL. The amount of people Coach Sark has that will have that decision at the end of this year, it's about him, and it's about how he's going to get his team ready to go. I don't care who he needs to call. I don't care what he needs to do. I don't care how it's going to work, but this is the year. I expect him to figure it out. That is my expectation, for Coach Sark to figure it out. First, this offense. Second, discipline. Third, the defense better be what the defense is supposed to be. And I will stop rambling and I will end this video. Let me know what you think about these Texas Longhorns. As always, hook 'em. I'll see you in my next video.